Donald Trump has a lot of the workers, a lot of the union workers hoodwinked. They believe that in as much as they're in a union, they think they want Donald Trump because they believe Donald Trump is going to be out there fighting for them. And why do they believe that? Because the way Donald Trump talks about tariffs, Donald Trump makes them believe that tariffs is a good thing for them. Let me be very careful and very factual. There are reasons to have tariffs. There are reasons to have selected tariffs on your particular sector. If the other country is subsidizing something that you are not subsidizing in your own country. But there are also reasons to have tariffs to ensure that you can maintain a particular manufacturing base so that if there's a pandemic that occurs, cheap stuff don't just flow into the country. All of that is true. But what Donald Trump had said he wants to do is to blanket apply a 20% tariffs across the board on imported things, but more importantly, and put a $300% tariffs on a lot of other stuff. That is irresponsible. That would send a shock through the market, and that would also cause severe inflation. Not me saying, although I would say it based on the calculations, because remember, the tariffs are not paid by the countries who the tariffs applies to. I repeat, the countries that gets the tariff, if he applies a tariff to products coming from China, China does not pay the tariffs. The tariffs are paid for by the companies who buy the products from China and sell it to you, and they must recover their costs. And how do they recover their costs? They recover their costs from you. So therefore, when Kamala Harris, VP Kamala Harris, says that the tariffs are nothing more than a sales tax, she is absolutely right. The way it's implemented, it's across the board sales tax based on what Trump says. Now, remember, I'm being pragmatic here in stating there are reasons to have tariffs. There are good reasons to have tariffs to ensure that you have a manufacturing base for absolutely everything, and also to ensure that other countries don't use you as a dumping ground. But this has to be done in a calculated manner so that they don't retaliate on you and stop buying our farmers' soybeans and buying it from Brazil. Stop buying our farmers' rice and buy it from some other country. All right. Now that I said that, I want to get into the Bible because I preface that with the Bible. If Trump so believed in tariffs, if Trump so believed that we shouldn't be getting things from China, then why is it that all his stuff that could be manufactured right here in the United States of America, he manufactures in China? Not starting because he's been doing this for a long time, but even the Bible that he's going to sell now, or that he's selling, check this out.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing. It's the greatest theft in the history of the world. China raided our factories, offshored our jobs, gutted our industries.
Our worst of the week bonus round goes to that guy, Donald Trump, because you'd think by now he wouldn't want anything to do with a country he says is responsible for the downfall of American manufacturing and raping us. Well, remember those weird God Bless the USA Bibles that Trump was hawking to his MAGA fans? Guess what? Made in China. According to the Associated Press, 120,000 Bibles were printed in the eastern city of Hangzhou and cost less than $3 to make. And by avoiding U.S. labor costs, Trump got a bit of a divine boost. $300,000 in royalties, according to his August financial disclosure. So the grift really does continue, because we're also learning that thousands of these Bibles will likely be bought up by Oklahoma schools, lining the pockets of not only Trump, but also the Chinese manufacturers he says he hates so much. My panel is back with me. So Charles, this is a double whammy, because on one hand, it's not just the irony of them being printed in China. It's also the fact that, evangelicals in this country are being duped by this grifter who, we're not even going to get into his favorite Bible verse or which Old or New Testament he likes. But, you actually had a Christian group rallying today in D.C. calling on America to get back to God. So it's just like all over the place with this one.
I reject the notion that they're being duped, because at this point, how do you not know, right? Like, they do know, they're very well aware of this. And like I said at the beginning of the hour, consistency does not matter. Hypocrisy does not matter. And so when you see this, if you put it in front of the so-called Christian nationalists, the so-called evangelicals, they will reject it or find a way to do so based off of some red herring that has nothing to do with the fact that Donald Trump's actions continue to be out of step with his words.
So let me play for this Tim Waltz, what he had to say about this, and I'll get your thoughts.
Found out his Trump branded Bibles. Yeah, they're printed in China. This dude even outsourced God to China. So just so we know. Again, I'm going to try and be generous here. I don't blame him. He didn't notice the Made in China sticker because they put it inside a place he's never looked in the Bible. So.
All right, but we can't give him off. We can't give it a pass. I hear you. He haven't read it. Yeah, I hear you. I hear that too, Bridge MCP. But no, we hold him accountable. Remember, Trump is such a sick. He's such a, whatever that word is. He writes his own checks, paper checks, that is. He pays the bills. He knows where every dollar in his organization is going. So yeah, he knows where these things are made. He knows where things are made. Look, let me tell you something, guys. It is interesting, okay? It is completely interesting that he isn't called out on this. But you know why? I play these things because, believe it or not, there are some people who don't have a clue. And when this is turned into a TikTok, and when this is turned into something else, folks are going to get this in pieces and they're going to say, oh, wow, is that really true? Oh, I didn't know that. And I'm not talking about the sycophancy now. I'm talking about those that are swayable, that are willing to overlook certain things but have a limit. That's what we're talking about.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.